Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
All right, we are ready to get started with our weights class today. So we are going to start standing with our usual warm-up and, of course, having our tools at the ready. We do have options today to use really all the things. So if you have a looping band, if you have a long band, if you have weights, just have them handy so that whatever you decide you want to do, you have the tools for it. If everything's feeling good, go ahead and start turning a little further, moving a little faster, checking in with your back and your shoulders and your hips and your knees. And just make a note of where you are this morning. And then bringing everything into center, moving into our big side reaches. Beautiful. It's always good to check in, make note of where we are because we want to meet our bodies where they are on each given day. And then bringing it into center, moving into our forward reaches. And then our big hip circles going in one direction. And then reversing and going the other way. And then bringing it in and bopping the knees up and down, pedaling the feet a little, warming up the knees and the ankles, and then adding those wrist circles. If you're going all one direction, make sure you go the other way. If you're doing those figure eights, you're already covering both directions. And then wiggle the fingers and toes. Let the dog wander through. Move, girl. And then we're ready to get started. We are going to start with a side step with a squat. So we're going to walk from one end of the mat to the other. I'm going to use my looping band because it's really great for side steps. So I like to bring it up nice and high around the thighs. And just for funsies, I like to add the extra weight for the squat. So we're going to go side stepping. I can get about 3. And then a squat. And then going the other way. And a squat. Once you have all your tools at the ready, 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Beautiful. What kind of squat you're doing here? I am doing the fairly straightforward knees today because I find that works better with the side step for me. But if that doesn't feel good in your knees, you can adjust to a sumo squat or whatever kind of squat feels safe and strong for you. The trick is make sure you get your feet set so that whichever one you do is nice and steady with good form. 15 seconds to go here. Almost there. Beautiful time. All right, up next, we are going to do, this is the one where we're going to do the brace against a wall. So you're going to find whatever space is right for you. And you can keep the band around your leg if you want to. We're going to do 1 minute on each side. So you're going to brace one foot against your support, and we're going to do a standing clamshell. The other hand is going to do a bicep curl. So we're going to be doing a clamshell coming out to the side while we're curling. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. My cabinet wants to come open. Must be a ghost. Beautiful. Now you can change the intensity of that clamshell by where you have your looping band. I kept it around the middle of my thighs because that's where I had it for my side steps with the squat. But you can bring it down closer to your knees as well, which is going to add a little extra resistance because your motion is bigger there. So that is up to you and how hard you want to work today. That's why we do that energy check-in. 15 seconds to go here. Keep breathing. And time. All right. Next up, of course, we got to do the other side. So shifting that weight over, making any adjustments to the band that you need to. And then away we go. Beautiful. Nice and slow and steady here. Another way to up the intensity here is to push back into your heel that's against the wall and down into the heel that's on the floor. That's going to fire up those back body muscles even more. Almost there. Time. All right. From here, I'm going to switch to my long band. You can keep the looping band around your legs if you want to. It'll just provide a little extra resistance to work your thighs and glutes a little more. But our next exercise is going to be, I like to call it a sword draw because I like swords. But you're going to stand on one end of the long band, and then you're going to draw it from one hip up to the other shoulder, like you're pulling your sword out to brandish it at people. You can make a pirate noise if you want to. Ha ha! Either way, we're going to do 30 seconds on each side. Here we go. You guys probably know by now that I have a very active imagination. So I am definitely brandishing a sword. Beautiful. Switching sides in 3, 2, 1. Stand on the other side, switch hands, and off we go. I feel like the hand on the hip really helps with the pirate vibe too. That may just be me. And time. All right, up next, we are going to do, and you might want to start this one without any assistance or any resistance at all. We're going to work on our balance. So we're going to try to keep one leg up and do basically like a running man. I don't know if you guys remember that old dance. So just tipping forward and bringing the arm out. If you already have the balance and you want to add the band around the legs, absolutely go for it. You can also add a little weight in the hand so that as you press out, you're working the shoulder as well. We're going to do 30 seconds on each side. Here we go. Beautiful. You might wonder how this is different than a deadlift. It's overall a pretty similar movement, but with the running man, you're keeping that knee bent and the elbow bent. And oh, it's time to switch sides. Move into the other side. Now, the balance work alone might be enough for you, and if so, just stick with that. But consider for your next round, if you want to add the resistance either on the legs or on the arms, or both. And time. All right, last up, we did this one a few weeks ago and I really liked it, so we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do our Y raise into our angel wings. So sinking our weight down into our heels, Y it up, and then down and around. If it's easier, go up and then down. That's going to work your back a little differently. But Y, down and around is how I like to do it. Beautiful. And again, you can keep the band on the whole time. Just provides that extra resistance through your legs, especially if you're sinking down a little bit. And of course, keep breathing. Almost there. And done. Whew. That one is really a shoulder killer. All right, give everything a good little wiggle, drink some water, and then we still have 2 more rounds. All right, getting ready for the side step with the squat. And I'm gonna bring that band down a little bit closer to my knees this time to provide a little extra challenge. And then when you're ready, stepping to one end, squatting and stepping back to the other. Here we go. Just for your information, because, you know, it's good to have knowledge. Knowledge is power. If I were just doing the side steps, I would actually put the band around my calves. But because I'm also doing the squat, I want it up a little higher where I get a little more work through the side glutes. That's why we're doing it above the knee. Beautiful. You guys got this. 15 more seconds. And time. All right, from here, we're going to go into that wall clam with the bicep curl. So again, adjust the band to where is the right position for you. And then 1 minute on each side here. So away we go. Breathing nice and slow and steady. Making the muscles do the work in both directions. Beautiful. And I know you guys know, but just as a reminder, stretching up tall through the crown of your head so you keep your spine nice and long and that little tuck of the chin. Keep a nice, strong, safe posture. And time. Take a second, maybe wiggle it out a bit, and then over to the other side. And away we go. Beautiful. Checking in here. Are you pressing down through the heel of the standing leg and pressing the heel of the foot against the wall, back into the wall? The weight in that standing heel may be hard if your foot is a little close to the wall, but might be easier if you step out away from the wall just a little further. Almost there. And time. All right. Now, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to leave the band on this time. But up next, we have the sword draw, so it's up to you if you want the band or not. 30 seconds on each arm. Getting everything in position, standing nice and firm on that long band. And here we go. Beautiful. And of course, as your reminder, how hard you're working on your shoulder here depends on how much you choke up on that resistance band. So if you need more resistance, pull it a little snugger. If you need less, loosen your grip a little, slide down to the end. But either way, it is time to switch arms. So bringing that over under the other foot. And then away we go. Almost there. 2 more seconds. And done. All right, from here, we're doing that running man with the band or without, with the weight or without. 30 seconds on each leg. And here we go. I like to play a game with myself where I see how many times I can do it without tapping my toe down. Not great today. Switching sides in 2, 1, and switch. And time. Beautiful. All right, up next we have the Y raise with the angel wings. So I like to stick with the light weight here because, again, it's kind of a killer shoulder exercise. But grabbing what's right for you. And then 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. That up and out Y works the back and the chest, as well as the shoulders and the arms, of course. And then that angel wing circling down just doubles down, really hitting different parts of the shoulder there. And if you're sinking your weight down into your heels, coming into a little mini squat, you're keeping the lower body fired up, making it an excellent full body exercise. As you guys know how much I love those. 15 seconds to go. And done. All right, grab a little more water, and then we still have one more set. All right, getting ready for that side step and squat. If you want to use the band and you don't have it on right now, go ahead and grab it. If you kept it on, like me, you might have to make adjustments because sometimes they roll. And then once you're ready, we have 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Slow and steady. Making the muscles do the work. So stepping out far enough, you feel the resistance from that band. Beautiful. 15 more seconds. Almost there. And time. All right, getting in position for the wall clam with the bicep curl. Here we go. Slow and steady breathing with our slow and steady movement. Pulling the belly in tight. And pressing through the heels. I said our running man was our balance work, but this one actually challenges your balance too. That offset weight with 1 foot on the floor and that clamshell with the knee all together can be a little challenge to the balance. Definitely makes the core engage. But I have great faith in you. You got this. And time. Maybe a little wiggle. Woo! If things are getting a little warm there. And then getting set up on the other side. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Beautiful. Check in with your posture. Are you still stretching nice and long through the spine? Are you still pulling your ribs in towards each other, firming up the belly? And most importantly, are you still breathing? Got to do that the whole time. 20 seconds to go. Done. Whew, all right. Up next is the sword draw. And just as an FYI, when you're doing that sword draw, part of what makes it a sword draw instead of like, a lawnmower pull is that you are turning your palm as you draw. So like imagine there's a sword on your hip, your palm is facing in towards your hip, but as you pull it up to wave it around, your palm turns and faces out. So, cool point of interest for you there. 30 seconds on each side. Here we go. Perfect. Switching sides in 3, 2, 1, and switch. Of course, keep breathing here too. Can't do a good pirate R if you don't have your breath, so you gotta make sure you keep breathing. And done. Give everything a little wiggle. And up next we have our running man. Again, with the band, without the band, with the weight, without the weight. Focus it just on your balance. I don't care. Whatever's right for you. 30 seconds on each side. And here we go. Switching sides in 3, 2, 1, and switch. On my third set, I'm finally getting the balance nailed and done. Nice. Okay, last up we have that Y raise with the angel wings. So grabbing your weights. Ooh, I accidentally hit the 2-minute button. I'm gonna fix that. 1 minute on the clock. And here we go. Beautiful, slow and steady. Because slow is actually harder with weights. Slow and controlled. 20 seconds to go here. Beautiful. And time. Whew. All right, that is the end of our third set. Go ahead and set aside all your toys. And then we're going to do our final stretch after we get one more sip of water. Okay, bringing it into the middle of the mat. Taking a moment. Maybe giving everything a little wiggle again because we did a lot of work today. And then starting nice and gentle, coming back to our arm swings, but soft and easy this time. Letting the arms kind of hang down low and the hands hit around the hip area. Just massaging out the shoulders a little bit. Beautiful. Coming back to center. Rolling the shoulders forward 3 times. And then backward 3 times. And then breathe the arms up overhead. And fold down towards the floor. Let everything relax and hang heavy for a moment. Take a nice breath here. And then on the inhale, roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. Arms up and overhead again. Folding back down, letting everything hang heavy towards the floor for 1 breath. And on the inhale, come up to a halfway. And just stay with that nice, flat, strong back. But let the arms hang loose and heavy. And then do some little circles in one direction. And then some little circles in the other direction. And then all the way back down to the floor. Pausing here for a couple breaths. Maybe letting your hands sink down to the floor. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows if that feels good for you. And letting gravity do the work. Maybe even adding a little side to side sway. Starting to massage out the hips and low back a little as well. And then coming back to center. Coming up however feels strong to you. From here, we're going to step our feet out a little wider. We're going to do a little gentle rock side to side, just checking in with the hips and the glutes. Not trying to do any work here. We're just feeling how everything is at the end of our workout. And then maybe adding a little figure 8 movement. Beautiful. And then coming back to center, arms up overhead. Reaching down towards the floor in that nice wide leg stance. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And then walk your hands over to one side. Staying with the legs stretched out long to start. Still with that bend in the knees. And then on the next breath, maybe bend that back knee a little extra so you get a good stretch through the front thigh. And a little extra stretch through the side hip and the back. And then straightening that leg, walking the hands through center, over to the other side. pausing for a breath here. And then if it feels good, bending that back knee a little, stretching a little more through the front thigh, and maybe the back hip. Straightening that back leg, walking back through center. This one's totally up to you. You can bend the knees, maybe toe heel the feet in a little bit and come down into a squat if that would feel good in your hips. Or you can just come up and come back to that figure eight. So choose your own adventure here. I definitely want a little bit of that deep squat, maybe a little side to side rocking after all the work with that looping band. So whatever's good for you here. Not everybody's hips or knees like the squat. Wherever you are, come right back up, slow and strong. Toe heel the feet in, come all the way up. And of course, way to finish off with that shoulder and neck stretch. Maybe looking out and nodding up and down. And then bringing the head back to center and release. And go to the other side. Maybe looking off to the side in the nod or any other neck movement that would feel good. And back to center, release. And that is it. We are done. Thank you guys for coming out to play today.